Hello and welcome. My name is Erlson and I love to draw. Today I am going to show you some limited time-lapse footage of a few character designs I did for a children's book titled Helena and the Missing Papaya, written by Christelle Kamga Pride. So without further ado, let's do this. I began with the character descriptions given to me by the author, about one paragraph worth of description for each character. So I immediately reached out from my sketchbook and came up with a first pass for each character. I added some quick color in Photoshop and sent the image to the author for approval before proceeding with the official character posters for the book. As soon as she approved the character designs, I set out to create a little illustration for each character. Beginning with the young boy with a soccer ball, I sketched out a quick gesture drawing focusing mainly on the general pose and movement. I later did a more refined sketch on a layer above the gesture drawing, this time around focusing more on the body parts and drapery. You can see that my proportions are heavily influenced by my original gesture drawing. My goal was to have a clean line drawing without losing the spontaneity of my original gesture drawing. I reduced the opacity of the refined sketch and drew once more on a new layer above all, this time around with a much smaller brush focusing on my line quality, trying to keep the drawing as clean as possible. Keep in mind that these characters were for a children's book, so they had to be fairly stylized. Here I am using an image of a soccer ball to help make my job easier. There's no shame in using photos so long as we're not plagiarizing someone else's artwork. I repeated the same process for the female character with two ponytails, once again beginning with a gesture drawing, focusing mainly on the pose. You can see from how much I erased that I tried out a few different variations of this pose before moving on with the official line drawing. Just to give you guys a bit of a backstory on these characters, I'm going to read the description found on Amazon. Helena is a lively young girl from Cameroon, and she realizes one day that the papayas from her father's favorite tree are disappearing. Then the biggest, best, ripest one, which she promised to protect, also disappears. The mystery sends her on an adventure to locate the missing fruits. This bilingual book in English and French is written by a native Cameroonian and illustrated from cover to cover with vivid, authentic full-page color artwork by 4 young, up-and-coming native Cameroonian artists, producing a beautiful window into the life of a girl and her friends in real places in Africa. Only the main character, Helena, is mentioned in the description on Amazon. However, you can find more information on the other characters on the author's website, link down below. Moving on to the third character, I was told to put her on a bicycle. Yet again, I began with a gesture drawing before moving on with the official line work. I had some difficulty drawing the bicycle in such a foreshortened view, but with the help of adequate reference, I was able to get it done. Once I was done with the line drawings, I used the lasso tool to shape up the characters on a layer underneath the line. At this point, I am much further into the painting process. Unfortunately, I lost some of the time-lapse footage. Some of you already know from my previous videos that I begin my painting process with flat shapes and colors. This time around was no different. I began by lassoing in the flat shapes, then I moved on with some basic lights and shadows. My final step was to unify all the elements together by painting on top of the entire image. Although I significantly painted over the line work, you can still see some of it in the final images. That's the case with most of my paintings. No matter how much I paint, I'm always going to be a draftsman at heart. As I came close to the end, I put the characters next to each other to make sure they looked cohesive. What I'm doing here is adding a little bit of atmosphere, dust, and debris to make the paintings look more breathable. Despite the fact that they were drawn in isolation, I didn't want them looking like they were in a vacuum, so the atmospheric effects definitely help add more life to the paintings. And here we have the final images. Thank you for making it this far into the video. If you enjoyed what you saw, hit the like button, subscribe, and share. Don't hesitate to hit the notification bell if you want to be the first to see my latest upload. I have a few more videos from this project coming your way, so stay tuned. Once again, my name is Earlson, and this concludes today's video. Until next time, stay blessed.